but to the detriment of yourself? What are you really doing?
It is very uncommon for somebody in the younger age group to have dementia.
Atheists don't not believe.
Is that I can't disprove God, but you also can't prove God, so we kind of have to stalemate.
We'll focus on the woman who's been the victim,
Right.
or the man has been the victim. We exclude the children.
Folks are trying to study the underlying brain mechanism to figure out how does this particular disorder happen in the brain? How is the brain processing this?
Don't worry about AI, worry about humans working with AI.
Are you willing to learn new skills to stay relevant for the future job market? That's the challenge that people are going to struggle with.
You are watching Strictly Legal on WESN Content Capital. Just give an overview of what exactly is that split arrangement.
Nah, you don't need to register nothing. You don't need, we can do that another time. But then it becomes a hit, and then everybody starts to want to claim.
The laws that predate many of the independent countries' constitutions are going to be those colonial laws.
We know there are an infinite amount of circumstances that would lead to a murder.
I have a great idea and I have a great concept, but until it's actually expressed, it does not become intellectual property.
Accomplishments or targets of a forensic accountant is to quantify what may have been lost.
They believe we defend criminals and we manipulated the law and we exploiting the system.
A responsible journalist will reach out to the person who they have the information on for a comment.
WESN.
Good morning, and welcome to WESN. This is AM Prime, and I am your host for today, Jada McLeod. I hope you're doing so well this morning. It is a fantastic Monday morning. So we're just going to jump straight into our regional updates for the day, or what we like to just call updates. We are going to be going through some local news, international news, just discussing the things that have been happening over the past couple of days all around the world. And I'm sure some of you would already be privy to some of the things we'll be talking about, but it's always nice to have additional discussion on the things that are going on and what affects us day to day. So the Minister of Homeland Security, Roger Alexander, is once again urging members of the public not to stay quiet when they witness a crime. He noted the importance of the role of the members of the public, that the role that we play in fighting against crime, and he also acknowledged the efforts of the TTPS in the way that they handle violent crimes and financial crimes. So take a look at this video captured by TTT for more.
Minister of Homeland Security Roger Alexander is once again urging members of the public not to say mum when they witness a crime. Noting the role members of the public play in the fight against crime, he also acknowledged the efforts of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service to tackle not only violent but financial crimes.
Okay, I want to commend the police officers for the effort that they are making in the fight against crime. And I want to give members of the public the assurance that we have, the Commissioner of Police has our total support in this fight. And, it also plays a role for members of the public. When you see something, say something. The time has come now more than ever. When you see things and you don't speak to it, it continues. Let's put an end to it. Play your part.
A point there. I think maybe if we got a longer video, we can hear him explain more on the importance of public insight, because as much as we want the police to be there, we want the police to have a standby and to be responsive, they can't be everywhere at once. You know, there's probably 2 or 3 police officers to 200 people. I don't know the statistics there, but I'm pretty sure it's up there. So we need people who, regular community citizens, who are on watch for their own community. If you care about where you live and the people that are in your community, especially when it comes to the more vulnerable, the children and the elderly, it's important that you play your part. Now, we're not saying for you to go out there and be a hero. We're not saying that you need to go out there and do a citizen's arrest. But if you do see something, and I know that if you do see something, you should say something. I know it's easier said than done, because a lot of the time people may say something and then something bad happens to them, and then we think those two things are correlated. And it may be, but I think more, and you can come on and you can correct me if I'm wrong, or you may have had a different experience, but more than that, it happens less than you would assume based on what I've seen. So it's very easy to criticize the system that we have in place. I mean, on this show alone, we talk about the pitfalls of the government system, not necessarily blaming any particular government, but the way in which we practice governance in Trinidad and Tobago is very flawed. And it's very easy to blame everything on the system, but we're the ones living and abiding by it, living and abiding in it. So it's almost like if you have dirt all around you, but you don't go and take a shower, then you're kind of condoning the dirt around you, right? So it's easy to say police not doing their job, leaders just talking, this government so-and-so, nothing ever changes. Like, I went on a community reporting spree, if you will, around Port of Spain, and I would have asked citizens, how do they feel about the current governance structure? How do they feel about living in Trinidad and Tobago was the main question. And a lot of people, of course, loved living in Trinidad, but a lot of their disappointment, disenchantment came so much so from the flaws of the government, the flaws of the political structure. And that's fair. It's okay to be dissatisfied with what is on the table for you, but we do better than most countries when it comes to democracy, when it comes to governance. We do a lot better than even some first world countries, if you wanna look at it that way. So I'm not saying that we don't get to hold our people accountable, our leaders accountable. Definitely. Do we need a change in law? Definitely. Do we need a change in governing structure? Definitely. But we can't keep saying those things and then nothing happens. No, we don't do anything just to support the change in governance structure. So Minister of Homeland Security Roger Alexander, I think he said this on more than one occasion, the importance of the public play in the fight against crime. He said that former Prime Minister of this country, Dr. Keith Rowley, has said that on numerous occasions as well, that it can't just be left to the police, because how are the police going to get their tips? The police can't be everywhere at once. And even then, there is a role in which every member of the public plays, to be aware of your surroundings, to be aware of what's going on in your country, and being able to keep an eye out there. If you disagree with me, you are welcome to state your opinions at any point during this newscast. All right, so I did want to keep it local. There is this topic that's floating around the air in Trinidad and Tobago these days. So just a quick scenario. Imagine you just turned 18 and you want to hit up a bar, you want to have a nice little drink, but then you realize that's illegal. Since when? And I know some of you will know what I'm talking about here. So a scenario like that may just become reality for some Trinbagonians very, very soon. A new proposal by the Kamala Persaud-Bissessar UNC-led government has engaged the public interest and debates. So should the legal drinking age be raised to 21? It currently sits at 18 years old, but at Ms. Bissessor's, the Honorable Kamala Persaud-Bissessar, her political party latest Monday night reports at the Penal Secondary School, the Prime Minister announced that this is something that they're looking at to be implemented in 2025. It also raises the gambling age limit as well as the drinking age limit. And some people are in agreement and others have a lot to say about it. So take a look at this video for more information.
But whether the law makes a real impact will depend not just on the number, but how it's enforced. It is yet to be seen whether the country will take a hardline approach like the United States or adopt a more educational stance like the United Kingdom, where the age limit currently reflects these countries. In the US, the legal drinking age of 21 has been the law of the land since 1984, when federal legislation tied compliance to highway funding. Over the years, efforts have been made to ensure the law is strictly enforced. Bars, clubs and liquor stores are legally required to check identification, and selling alcohol to anyone underage carries stiff penalties. Some states even send undercover agents to test compliance. And for drivers under 21, most states apply zero-tolerance policies, meaning even a small trace of alcohol in the bloodstream can lead to license suspension, fines and mandatory education. By contrast, in the United Kingdom, the legal drinking age remains 18, but enforcement is more flexible. While it's illegal for a minor to purchase alcohol or for it to be sold to them, young people aged 16 or 17 are even allowed to drink beer or wine with a meal at a restaurant if accompanied by an adult. Shops and pubs in the UK use the Challenge 25 policy, asking anyone who looks under 25 to show ID. But rather than harsh punishment, the focus is on education and promoting responsible consumption. It's been argued that a minimum drinking age limit of 21 protects brain development and reduces alcohol-related harms, especially traffic accidents and overall consumption among young people. However, the age of adulthood argument has also been compelling, with experts contending that increasing the age limit makes alcohol more desirable as a forbidden fruit, leading to unsupervised and unsafe drinking environments.
So the legal drinking age, again, right now is 18, but they're proposing for it to be raised to 21 years. The essence behind, or the reasoning behind this is thinking that at 18 years old, you don't really have your brain is still developing. Even at 21, technically, your brain is still developing, and alcohol is something that can have extremely harmful effects to that brain development. And alcohol also, it impairs judgment, especially because when you just get your license, say you're 17, you're 18 years old, say you're 18 years old, you just turned 18, you got your license, you've been driving for maybe a couple of months, but then now you're exposed to being able to go and buy your own alcohol. You just show your ID, now you can buy your own alcohol, drink your own alcohol. When you have all of these things going on, it does increase the want to drink alcohol while driving, and we all know that that's a no-no. That's something that we don't want, because what happens is that it impairs your judgment. So you're drinking the alcohol, you're out with your friends, you're a couple of months just turned 18, if even that much, you're out with your friends. It's just a bad environment to have all of those things in one. It creates a pot of bad. Yeah, the age isn't just a random number. It's based on research indicating that the brain continues to mature well into the mid-20s, and alcohol can negatively impact memory, cognitive functions, and increase the risk of alcohol dependence. Some people say, well, not some people, studies show that the brain stops maturing, but fully develops. Your frontal lobe fully develops at age 25. If your frontal lobe fully develops, or you fully mature at 25, the drinking age is 18, you just got your license at 17, how do we expect what is still considered minors to make right judgments when they're around their friends, they're partying, they're drinking, they're celebrating, school just finished, maybe you just got into your dream school, you're doing something you love, you don't really think about the consequences of your actions, you're just thinking about having fun, let's be very, very honest. So your prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for judgment and decision making, it continues to develop through adolescence and into the mid-20s. Alcohol can severely interfere with this development. So whether or not but then again, you have to look at it from a different angle. Are you telling people that they can't make their own decisions? Are you telling people that they can't be in charge of their own life? Is that a hindrance to democracy? Are you telling me that I can't be? I've heard some people say it. You can't tell me that once I'm an adult or considered legally an adult by the state, by the country, by law, that I can't go out and drink a beer. I can't go out and have a cup of something, have a shot, have 2 shots, drink this, drink that, drink the things that I've been seeing in the movies and the music videos and all of these different things. How could you tell me that I can't do that? So there's both sides to the argument, but this study showing the facts are that alcohol can interfere with your brain development. And if your brain fully develops at 25, I just feel like the math has to math, you know what I mean? But yes, so the legal drinking age may be raised to age 21. This is a proposal by the UNC government. So there's also a point of, yes, they can implement the legal drinking age to be to 21, but can they enforce that? People would say that that's something Trinidad has a problem with. We pass all these laws, we pass all these bills, we have all these good things that we wanted to do in theory, but when it comes to actual enforcement and maintenance of the law, it goes nowhere. It goes absolutely nowhere. So some enforcement measures can be ID checks at bars, clubs, and retail stores. I mean, this is something that they do in the US as well. Stricter ID policies at every corner store, every bar, every club that young people would go to. But if you think about it now, right now, even though there's supposed to be ID checks, do we do that here in Trinidad and Tobago as much as we should? Would businesses even get fined if they are caught selling to someone under the age of 21? So I know when I first turned 21, my experience was, oh my gosh, I could go, when I was 21, sorry, 18, I could go to a bar. I can get something to drink. Now, I don't drink, right? But I was very excited at the knowledge that I can now, right? And I think I took my first drink at a club or drink at a bar at age 21 or age 22 or something like that. I'm a late bloomer, guys. But even in my experience, I believe that they did ask for my ID, that's here at a bar somewhere on the avenue. But my friends were saying that in their experience, they didn't ask for ID. And I know that in the US, sometimes they send mystery shoppers. They would go and they would sit down at the bar or whatever, and if they don't ask for the ID, if the bartenders, that is, if they don't ask for the ID, they immediately get fined, or the business gets fined, or I believe the bartender gets fined, and they may take away their license, or it will be hard for them to find work. So that's why they're so adamant about checking ID in the US. That's enforcement. Is that something that we can realistically appoint here in Trinidad and Tobago, where maybe the government or some government-led office sets out or hires mystery shoppers to go to bars, and even if they obviously look like they're of age to be able to take a drink and relax themselves, would it be something that the bartenders still need to ask for the ID? And if they do, they get away, and if they don't, then they get fined? Would that mean that bartenders, and who is responsible, the bartender or the bar owner? We have to decipher these things. So this is something that I believe the government should add more clarity on, because yeah, we can pass the bill and it can get us in an uproar talking about, we can all be interested and have many debates on whether or not it should or it should not, but if it is, how are we going to enforce it? That is very, very important. We also have licensing and penalties for vendors. If it's not at a bar, what if it's at a corner store, a corner shop? Vendors will need updated liquor licenses, because I'm not too sure with how that process happens. When you go to a bar and you see the license on the front of the store, maybe it's right by the bar. If it's a restaurant, you would see the licenses of the person that either owns the bar or of the individual bartenders. How often do they check? How long does that license last? Is it 10 years? Do you have a license for 5 years? Do you have a license for? Because I know it takes a while to get that license, but how long does that license? And does it even expire? And what are the checks and balances on something like that? Because alcohol is a dangerous thing. It's something that we need to pay a lot of attention to. So how well do we enforce it? How well do we maintain the laws around it? how strict are the conditions around it? And if it's not that strict, it needs to become stricter. And I think this is the reason why we're even having this conversation, because a lot of people have come up with, a lot of people are noting now that we have a lot more drunk driving accidents. We have a lot more driving accidents on the road. And a lot of that can be attributed to driving drunk or driving sleepy, or driving just impaired in any way. But that usually gets attributed to drunk driving. We have heard about even our own president losing much of her family to driving incidents. I'm not saying the person was driving drunk, but we have been noting an increase or just paying more attention to driving accidents here in Trinidad and Tobago over the past couple of months. So it's no surprise that this has come up now, where we're paying a lot more attention to minors and driving drunk, minors and driving under the impairment of anything, whether it be drugs or alcohol. So another enforcement measure that was mentioned was random spot checks by the TTPS, where they send over undercover officers to test compliance. Penalties for youth in possession of alcohol. Would an 18-year-old caught drinking be fined? Because you know, when you're at a party, you know, it's Christmas time or something like that. I think I probably took my first swig of my parents or some adults' alcohol, or maybe a punch of creme, or a spiced sorrel drink or something like that. I probably took my first swig when I was like 5, if so late, you know. So what happens when, you know, you're at a party and uncle drinking hard liquor, everybody drinking a punch of creme, a punch in, a this and a that, and you want to hold something in your cup too. You're drinking juice, you're drinking cranberry juice, but you want to hold something in it as well. You want some vodka in it as well. Does that now become absolutely illegal, where, you know, if a TTPS member is passing by, they could say, hey, you, how old are you? And you're like, I'm 17, or I'm 18, or I'm 19, and you're like, but you can't be drinking that. And even TTPS officers at their own gatherings and their own functions, we know that sometimes when you have TTPS members in your family, they tend to let things slide, especially with something like drinking under the legal drinking age. That's something that we don't take as seriously. So how deep is the enforcement going to go? I think that's a very interesting conversation. And school and community campaigns. Going in schools, it's an old age trick that works, because you're teaching the population from a young age. Enforcement has to go beyond policing. It has to start from a place of teaching. You have to tell the public why you're doing what you're doing. So a lot of people may just catch on up. Of course, you want to put the drinking age higher, because, you know, minors and drinking, minors and driving. Of course, you want it to be higher. Alcohol impairs judgment, alcohol impairs whatever. Of course, you'd want that. But for people who may not immediately get it, or people who would say, well, you can't take away my right to drink a punchin, you can't take away my right to drink some vodka, you can't take away my right to down a tequila, you can't take away my right to drink some white oak. For people who think that way, you need to explain, and rightfully so, as a government, you need to explain why it is that you're doing what you're doing. And I don't believe that was done in the right channels. So yeah, do we really have the manpower to enforce this across the board? Does the TTPS have the members to spare to go out and do this? How do we balance protecting youth and criminalizing them? For example, as I would have given the example of you at a Christmas function, you're at a family gathering, and you're drinking something, and maybe you're drinking till you get drunk. How does it differ from protecting the person that's doing that? And by the way, you're under 18. How do we protect versus criminalize? And anything that you want to do with youth, you want to empower them. So that comes with education. You have to let them know why it is that they should not be drinking this much or drinking at all. Personally, I feel like we have allowed alcohol to be so common in our society, just so commonplace. Like, of course, you're going to drink something after work. Why is alcohol a bonding activity? In my opinion, it really should not be. You should bond over books. You should bond over movies. You should bond over video games. You should bond over hair, your hairstyles. Bond over makeup. Bond over shoes. Bond over religion, faith. Bond over what you like to do But drink, we bond over drinking a little bit too much in this country, in this world in general. But I can only speak for Trinidad and Tobago. Why is there a bar at every corner? And why are there people always at the bar? Don't you all have jobs? That's something I always wonder. Why is it that people are so... but then you have to think about it. Alcohol is addictive. So people get addicted to it and it becomes so staple in their daily routine. But that's something that cigarettes are things that we have made so commonplace in our society, and it's never going to turn out right for us. It's never going to be good for us. No matter how you try to justify it, it's never going to be good for us. It's never going to be good for our bodies, good for our brains, good for our development, and the younger you do it, the worse off you are in life. So I personally think drinking age limit should be raised to 25. And I don't think I'm alone in that, because it's something that you don't fully understand the effects of when you're very, very young. You're just like, oh, well, all the music tells me that I should be drinking alcohol. So you do it. But then you realize you take a swig and you don't like it. You may like what it does to you for a couple of moments in a day or in a night, but for the most part, it tastes horrible. It's expensive. And it tastes horrible, guys. Why do you want to drink something that you have to it's like medicine. You only drink medicine when you can have a swig of water or a swig of juice afterwards. Alcohol tastes like medicine, but worse. You know? And I understand it's an addiction for some. I'm not speaking to those people, but people who may take a swig once in a while or have not yet drunk alcohol, don't. Especially if you're really, really, really young. Don't do it. You're not missing out on anything. And that's my personal stance on it. I know some people may disagree. They want to take a bottle here, a bottle helps bring community together. It doesn't. Go and play some All Fours. You do not need the punching. You do not need the White Oak. And I say in it and beg, you do not need the vodka. Go and play some All Fours and eat a biscuit. Really and truly. Go and eat a biscuit and play some All Fours. But yes, would stronger laws make alcohol less accessible? And how does what this government is proposing in terms of putting the drinking age limit higher, how is that going to affect society? Is it going to make, as I would have said before, drinking less accessible? Is it going to make it less appealing to people? Or is it going to increase the appeal because now it's like this forbidden fruit? I can't have it until I'm 21, so when I'm 20, I'm just going to take a little something, or is it going to become off market? What's going to happen? What is the fallout of something like this? Very important questions for us to think about. Even you, if you want to let me know, have you ever seen someone get carded at a bar or ID'd at a bar? Should the police be involved in enforcing drinking age laws? Is it that important, in your opinion? Should that responsibility be on businesses and licensing boards? And just generally, what would effective enforcement look like, in your opinion? Because I've given my opinions. I don't think it should even be a thing. But for your opinion, what would effective enforcement look like in your eyes? So that's the question posed to you while we go on a short break, and we will be right back with you. So stay with us.
Get ready for the biggest business-to-business event of the year, the Trade and Investment Convention, happening on July 17th to 19th at the Centre of Excellence in the Koya. Doors open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on business days and 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Consumer Day. Dress code in effect for business days. Park and ride available from Constantine Park and UETGR North Car Park all days, and NAM Devco on the 17th and 19th. Sponsored by the Ministry of Trade, Investment and Tourism, Exim Bank, Bal Roop Group and Bmobile Business.
Feeling drained? Struggling to keep up? It's time to take control of your wellness. On this episode of Wellness Unlocked, we're diving into the key nutrients your body needs for all-day energy and balance, with 100% or more of your daily essential vitamins, plus added chromium to support healthy blood sugar. This is complete wellness in a single soft gel. Join us as we uncover how small changes can make a big impact on your health. Don't miss Wellness Unlocked. Watch now on WESN and take the first step toward better health.
Do you need treatment for obesity or any related abdominal procedures? The community hospital now offers minimally invasive laparoscopic surgery done by an American-trained, board-certified surgeon with over 20 years' experience. Give us a call at 235-5479 for more information.
The Community Hospital of Seventh-day Adventist,
Where good private health care is affordable.
Knowing how to tell authentic is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Find it, match it, search it. Step 1. Find the style number on the tag. Step 2. Match the style number inside the jersey with the number on the tag. Step 3. Search it. A quick Google search of the style number will verify the jersey is authentic when the search results match the jersey being searched. Don't be fooled by counterfeit jerseys. Before you buy, remember to find it, match it, search it.
Fan Zone, 2 locations nationwide. Center City Mall, Chaguanas and Movietown, Port of Spain. Nationwide delivery available. SM Group International Limited, your solutions partner for the latest innovations, brands and competent staff to meet your needs. We provide products and services in the following divisions: executive services, event rental and services, power and heavy equipment, construction and property management, food and beverage, aggregate and sales and distribution. Check out more on our products and services at www.smgrouptt.com. Contact us at 221-7445 or email at info@smgrouptt.com. We are SM Group International, your solutions partner.
Good morning and welcome back to AM Prime on WESN. We're continuing with our updates for the day. We just covered some local stories, some local things, stories that are building debate and interest in the public eye. But now we're moving on to an international story, something that has been all over news, all over the world, and the floods in Texas, so heavy rains in central Texas, are complicating the recovery mission in the state's hilly country just over 1 week after catastrophic flooding killed at least 120 people. And you know, we would have spoken about that on our daily news in terms of the flooding that has happened, the disasters that would have occurred because of the flooding, how many lives were lost, how many livelihoods were lost, and now recovery efforts are being strained once again because of the warning of more floods, more rainfall to come. So take a look at this video.
It's the last thing Texas needed. Another storm slamming the central Texas region, already suffering from catastrophic flooding, drenching some areas with more than 9 inches of rain in less than 24 hours. Firefighters staging dramatic swift water rescues in McGregor, governor confirming ongoing rescues underway in multiple counties.
That's our road.
Including Lampasas. One resident there capturing these rising floodwaters, sharing one family member had evacuated to a local fire department. Back in the broken heart of last week's catastrophe, county officials report 161 people are still missing. Heavy rain forcing the urgent recovery mission to a standstill.
It slowed us down, but it's not over.
NBC News with behind-the-scenes access to the nerve center of the recovery today. Thousands of volunteers were here yesterday. Today, it's empty, evacuated in fear of rising floodwaters.
In this area,
but firefighter Razor Dobbs drives on.
You're a volunteer.
Yes, sir.
You've been doing back-breaking work out here for 10 days for free. What motivates you to keep going?
The families. It's a family. I mean, I can't imagine the anguish that they must be feeling, especially the ones that are still looking.
Last Friday, this volunteer fire station was under at least 7 feet of water. Everything gone. Now it's stronger than ever. Restored by one purpose.
We want to bring their loved ones home so they can have closure, and that's the goal. There's no plan B.
Ryan Chandler is joining us now from Kerrville, where the mission to find the missing is back on, at least partly tonight. Ryan.
Yeah, Hallie, late this evening, Kerr County cleared search and rescue teams to resume their mission in some parts of the county. Now, it could take months to find some of the people who are still missing, but these teams tell me they'll be here as long as it takes. Hallie.
Ryan Chandler in Kerrville, thank
you. So Central Texas lies in a flash flood alley. So as I would have said before, I would have called it hilly. So where hilly terrain and heavy precipitation have historically triggered rapid floods. Many people that attribute this increase in flooding to climate change, as hotter air holds more moisture, but that's just one look at it. They also attribute the increase in the damage of the flooding to lack of investment in infrastructure. They say old gauges, outdated drainage systems left communities severely exposed. As we know right now, over 2,000 to 3,000 volunteers, including emergency crews from the States and from Mexico, joined rescue efforts. A federal disaster declaration was signed. FEMA and the National Guard resources were put on. Aid came from across sectors, food donations, and different even fast food restaurants around the states. The damage estimates range from 18 to 22 billion dollars. That's US dollars, guys. So it's a lot that's going on in the states in general. Right now, I know that we had the LA fires a couple of months ago, and now, well, the Texas flooding. It's a lot that's going on with our brothers and sisters over there in the US. As of right now, there's at least 129 confirmed fatalities, with around, and I know they would have said 169, but I'm seeing here 170 people still missing, mainly in Kerr County. Nearly 100 of the victims that perished were from a girls' summer camp, Camp Mystic. Dozens of the campers and counselors would have perished in the flooding across the region, including Kerr, Travis, Burnett, Williamson counties. As we would have said before, the death toll surpasses 120, which is a lot. So this natural disaster is truly a disaster indeed. Just to give more technical terms of what would have happened, it's heavy tropical moisture, remnants of a storm from before, combined with a mesoscale convective vortex, dumped over 20 inches of rain in less than 48 hours across the Texas Hill County. The Guadalupe River surged by roughly 26 to 29 feet of water in under an hour. As you would have seen on the videos that we just had up there playing, it submerged camps, roads, and homes. There was nothing, there's no remnants of civilian life. It was just water. And it seems incredible to even watch that. Imagine being right there and seeing that, or maybe even having family members in those counties. Absolutely terrible thing to witness, and probably even more so to go through. And my heart goes out to the people that would have lost their lives and those who would have lost their loved ones in this terrible disaster. It's it's a lot to think about. As I would have said before, we had the fires in LA. Now we have the flooding here. There's a lot of natural disasters that are going on, not just in the US, but all over the world. And once you stay engaged with news, you would see that when people think that it may be climate change, we can attribute it to climate change, and that may be there may be an argument for that. I'm not lying, but where are all these disasters coming from? And I know a lot of people can concur with me. There's a lot of bad stuff happening now. Why? You know, why can't the news just be happy news? I would love that. I'd love to report on all happy news, you know, but we can't be happy all the time, right? So if you were hit with something like this, especially here in Trinidad, if flooding got that, but we have a drainage problem here. When it rains, it kind of just stays for a while. But do you think our government would be ready, or our society would be ready for something like this? There's over 25 feet of water in one area. That's incredible. Yeah. But again, my heart goes out to the people that have actually suffering with this, not just hypothetical, but actually suffering by this. And we really do hope that recovery efforts continue not to be stalled and continue to be underway. And it turns into recovery, not turns into rescue. Sorry, not just recovery. So moving swiftly along for the updates for today. We have the TIC convention that's happening on the 17th and the 19th of July at the Centers of Excellence, Mokoya, Trinidad and Tobago. It is the largest international business and networking trade show in the region. As you are seeing here on your screen, registration is free to attend. You can register as a buyer or register as a consumer. Do you see how many carts, how many people are in the photos that we have up on the screen there? It is huge. It is a huge event. And if you are interested in any sort of trade, if you're a business owner, in any sort of leadership even, you provide any service, you provide any product, this is the place for you to be from the 17th to the 19th of July. So go ahead to the website that you see on your screen. I'll just read it out if you can't see it. If you want to register as a buyer, it's ttma.com/tic/buyers/registration. And if you'd like to register as a consumer, it's ttma.com/tic/consumers. It is open to the members of the public on Saturday, 19th July. You see the QR codes that are on each block. You can go ahead and scan those for more information. And also, WESN will have a booth at the TIC convention. I believe the booth is number 2. I'm not seeing number 229. So yeah, if you've ever wanted to get advertising with us, or you want to just know more about what advertising would take, what advertising would look like at WESN, interested in getting your product out there, and you want us to speak more about it, you want us to kind of big you up in any way, if you want your ad running, anything like that, reach out to us. Or you can, if you're going to be there at the conference, come check us out. Again, we are at booth 229, and we would love to be able to hear from all of you that are watching or listening to our program on a regular basis. Again, it is free registration, and the conference has a lot in store, a lot to impact your lives, impact your businesses, and take you from where you are now to wherever it is that you want to be. Again, it offers not just training and lectures and those sorts of things, but it also offers something that's quite invaluable, which is networking. You get to be there with people in your industry, you get to be there with people from other industries that you don't even know can help your industry, or is paramount to your industry, or can see your business thrive. So come out. Again, registration is free to attend. Come out and see what TIC has to offer. TIC is put on by TTMA, Trinidad and Tobago Manufacturers Association, which we also have an interview with them coming up later today. We also have an interview with them tomorrow and the day after that. We are completely and totally focused on this convention and the the massive impact that it may have, not just on our business and our lives, but on your business and your lives. It is something that, trust me, you do not want to miss. And stay tuned for the conversation that will be happening on the hour of 7 o'clock, where we get into the nitty-gritty of the why, the what, the when, the how, the everything behind this convention. We take a deep dive into how we got here in the first place, what it was like versus the first couple of years to now, because it has been going on for a while. So if you want to hear about the background into the TIC convention, if you want to hear just a little bit more about it, and so when you go, you'll be able to have some knowledge. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back with you.
Get ready for the biggest business-to-business event of the year. The Trade and Investment Convention, happening on July 17th to 19th at the Centre of Excellence in the Koya. Doors open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on business days and 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Consumer Day. Dress code in effect for business days. Park and ride available from Constantine Park and UETGR North Car Park all days, and NAMDevco on the 17th and 19th. Sponsored by the Ministry of Trade, Investment and Tourism, Exim Bank, Bal Roop Group and Bmobile Business.
My name is Dr. Stephen Carroll, the CEO at Community Hospital of Seventh-day Adventist, and we are committed to making good private health care affordable.
For all your medical needs, including dental, radiology, laparoscopy, behavioral and mental health, along with many other services, contact us for more information at 235-5479.
Community Hospital of Seventh-day Adventist,
where good private health care is affordable.
Maybe he landed here totally by coincidence. But if by chance he's admiring your fresh coat of Benjamin Moore soft sky blue, well, that's a pretty high compliment. Coming from an expert.
Low energy? Heart concerns? Migraines slowing you down? It's time to take control of your health. Join Wellness Unlocked, the series that brings expert advice and real solutions for a healthier you. In our latest episode, learn how Jameson CoQ10 can help support heart health, boost energy, and even reduce migraines. Get the science, the stories, and the steps to power up your health with CoQ10. Don't miss Wellness Unlocked. Watch now on WESN and start your wellness journey today.
Money is something we all deal with, but how many of us truly understand it? What if you could make better decisions with your money? Decisions that secure your future, protect your family, and bring you peace of mind. I'm Darren Jacobs, and I'm here to help you make sense of your dollars. Welcome to Dollars and Cents, the show that breaks down the financial world in ways that matter to you. No jargon, no confusion, just real conversations about money, your money. So join me every Wednesday at 10 a.m. on WESN for Dollars and Cents.
You are watching Strictly Legal on WESN Content Capital. Just give an overview of what exactly is that split arrangement.
Now you don't need to register nothing. You don't need, we can do that another time. But then it becomes a hit. And then everybody starts to want to claim.
The laws that predate many of the independent countries' constitutions are going to be those colonial laws.
We know there are an infinite amount of circumstances that would lead to a murder.
I have a great idea and, I have a great concept. But until it's actually expressed, it does not become intellectual property.
Accomplishments or targets of a forensic accountant is to quantify what may have been lost.
We believe we defend criminals and we manipulate the law and we exploiting the system.
A responsible journalist will reach out to the person who they have the information on for a comment.
This is
Face of Sports, WESN Content Capital. How you felt about the kiss on the lip?
That's the business. I'm nothing to do with that.
I find that was distasteful.
The national senior team, whether you like it or not, that is the model for all other teams to follow.
I'm assuming that the regional requirement may be a much stricter requirement.
This is not about Pro League and Super League. This is a league run by the Normalization Committee that I'm responsible for.
Nobody expected FIFA to fund this arrangement.
If we don't get a professional attitude towards this, we are doomed for failure.
You break the balance, trip the leg, control the body.
They ain't gonna stand put forever.
Why you want the Chiefs to lose so? Why you want the Chiefs to lose so?
They already have two. Lamar don't
Why?
have.
You're jealous because you know the Chiefs getting closer to the Patriots. Let's go to the last part.
No,
Let's go to the last part.
FanZone, your reliable, authentic supplier, has just gotten better. You can now visit our website www.fanzonett.com for your authentic wear and collectibles. The only place where you can use both your Visa debit and credit cards. Visit our website fanzonett.com to make your purchase today.
Take some time for yourself or spend some time with the family at Sandy Point Village Hotel. Enjoy our various studio and suite apartments, self-contained with their own kitchenettes and Wi-Fi. We also have our famous 100-foot swimming pool and our beachfront restaurant, The Steak and Lobster Grill. And our location in Crown Point puts us near the center of activity from the nylon pool to the local nightlife. Call us and make your reservations at 639-8533, 389-2378 or email us at sandypointvillagehotel@gmail.com.
Every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life. Because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
Our award-winning show is back, and this season promises to be even more exciting than before. What's Up, Doc isn't just a title. It's a call to action for anyone who wants to improve their health and well-being. Join us on this thrilling ride towards better health on WESN Content Capital.
We are tackling the hard-hitting topics, some controversial topics, some topics we sweep under the rug. You don't always have to forgive in a relationship for it to move forward.
If it is you are in a situation where you forgive the person, but to the detriment of yourself, what are you really doing?
It is very uncommon for somebody in the younger age group to have dementia.
Atheists don't not believe.
Is that I can't disprove God, but you also can't prove God, so we cannot a stalemate.
We'll focus on the woman who's being the victim,
right,
or the man who's being the victim. We exclude the children.
Folks are trying to study the underlying brain mechanism to figure out how does this particular disorder happen in the brain? How is the brain processing this?
Don't worry about AI, worry about humans working with AI.
Are you willing to learn new skills to stay relevant for the future job market? That's the challenge that people are going to struggle with.
Pastor J, I want to get a tattoo.
You really
respond to me. Respond to me how you would respond to me.
The first question I'll ask is why.
Controversial taboo topics.
We get so consumed by church, we forget that we have to live the life of being a Christian outside of the Sunday.
Like you say,
services,
we think going to a service makes us a Christian.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right. So here we are about to hear the second time Pastor J wanted to take a tattoo.
Would have been late last year and early this year.
Oh gosh. Hope Unfiltered podcast with Pastor J and Ren.
This is 10 Questions. I'm Andy Johnson. The distance from where we should be in the world in going forward on our commitments with climate change.
The effects of climate change that cannot be accounted for, it's called loss and damage, and we're seeing loss and damage happening so much more in this decade and the previous decade.
The principal term there was this question of the correspondent banking issues.
That is why we're trying to build capacity with this country here, Trinidad and Tobago, and other countries in the region. Man is not showing any signs of stopping or even slowing down. More than half of the forest in Trinidad is already gone.
All the plants and all the animals and all of the nice clean water and fresh air and everything had to be on this planet for humanity to have a chance.
We have small change when it comes to countries that can take decisions, and when they speak, the world listens.
The General Assembly is a very democratic forum. And Trinidad and Tobago has the same vote as Canada, in spite of the obvious difference in size.
Get ready for the biggest business-to-business event of the year. The Trade and Investment Convention, happening on July 17th to 19th at the Centre of Excellence in the Koya. Doors open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on business days and 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Consumer Day. Dress code in effect for business days. Park and ride available from Constantine Park and UETGR North Car Park all days, and NAM Devco on the 17th and 19th. Sponsored by the Ministry of Trade, Investment and Tourism, Exim Bank, Bal Roop Group and Bmobile Business.
I am Dr. Delphina Ovid, your friendly neighborhood dentist. At Community Hospital Dental Clinic, we offer examinations which include x-rays, basic oral cancer screening, and a treatment plan. We also offer cleanings, fillings, extractions, root canal treatment, and complete and partial dentures. Remember, you don't have to brush and floss all your teeth, just the ones you want to keep.
Give us a call at 235-5479.
The Community Hospital of Seventh-day Adventist,
where good private health care is affordable.
Take some time for yourself or spend some time with the family at Sandy Point Village Hotel. Enjoy our various studio and suite apartments, self-contained with their own kitchenettes and Wi-Fi. We also have our famous 100-foot swimming pool and our beachfront restaurant, the Steak and Lobster Grill. And our location in Crown Point puts us near the center of activity, from the nylon pool to the local nightlife. Call us and make your reservations at 639-8533, 389-2378, or email us at sandypointvillagehotel@gmail.com.
FanZone, your reliable, authentic supplier, has just gotten better. You can now visit our website www.fanzonett.com for your authentic wear and collectibles. The only place where you can use both your Visa debit and credit cards. Visit our website fanzonett.com to make your purchase today.
This is Face of Sports, WESN Content Capital. How you felt about the kiss on the lips?
That's the business. I'm nothing to do with that.
I find that was distasteful.
The national senior team, whether you like it or not, that is the model for all other teams to follow.
I'm assuming that the regional requirement may be a much stricter requirement.
This is not about Pro League and Super League. This is a league run by the Normalization Committee that I'm responsible for.
Nobody expected FIFA to fund this arrangement.
If we don't get a professional attitude towards this, we are doomed for failure.
You break the balance, trip the leg, control the body.
They ain't gonna stand put forever.
Why you want the Chiefs to lose so? Why you want the Chiefs to lose so?
They already have two. Lamar don't
Why?
have.
You're jealous because you know the Chiefs getting closer to the Patriots. Let's go to the last part.
No,
of the
not no.
Let's go to the last part.
We are tackling the hard-hitting topics, some controversial topics, some topics we sweep under the rug. You don't always have to forgive in a relationship for it to move forward.
If it is you are in a situation where you forgive the person, but to the detriment of yourself, what are you really doing?
It is very uncommon for somebody, and the younger age group to have dementia.
Atheists don't not believe.
Is that I can't disprove God, but you also can't prove God. So we kind of at a stalemate.
We'll focus on the woman who's been the victim,
right,
or the man who's been the victim. We exclude the children.
Folks are trying to study the underlying brain mechanism to figure out how does this particular disorder happen in the brain? How is the brain processing this?
Don't worry about AI, worry about humans working with AI.
Are you willing to learn new skills to stay relevant for the future job market? That's the challenge that people are going to struggle with.
Good morning and welcome back to AM Prime on WESN. So our conversation with DTTME is we're just having a little bit of technical difficulties being able to have our guests in with us today. So, but we didn't want to be too far away from you. So I'm going through the news day, right? Pulling out old school, you know. So I wanted to talk about something I would have come across with DCP Operations Junior Benjamin, Deputy Commissioner, talking about the ID law, which is that enforcing that all persons supposed to have their IDs on them at all times will make policing easier. He was speaking at a post-cabinet media briefing on July 10th, where Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander said the move is an effort for the police to enforce proposed changes which would raise the legal age limits to consume alcohol, use marijuana, and gamble. DCP Commissioner, Deputy Commissioner would have come on and talked about the ID law, saying that he doesn't see it as something that cannot be implemented. It can be done. He knows in foreign countries people are required to always have ID on them, so he doesn't see it as something that is out of the way. He said he does not see it, he doesn't believe the law would be outlandish as some people were assuming it would be. And I tend to agree with him on that. I personally always have my ID on me. I don't see it as an arduous task to have a card that literally tells people who you are on you at all times. I don't think it's that difficult to have that on you. If you can have your DP on you at all times, especially if you're a driver, then you can have your ID on you at any point in time. Because, and I would agree, it would make policing easier, because if, God forbid, something happened to you, maybe your bag got stolen, your purse got stolen, we now know who belongs to you because you have your ID in there, unless, of course, the assailant takes the card out, which that tends to happen. But if something were to happen to you, we see it on all those crime shows from time to time, how the first way the police is able to make an identification is when they pull out the ID that is on the person, the body or something like that. And they're able to say, well, this person, and it speeds up their investigation, because now they're able to identify who the person is, who they would have connected with, who they would have last spoken with, because now they got to follow the trails of your life, because they know whose life it is. So I think it's something like that's important. And even when that's quite grim, but even when it comes to policing in certain areas, people having the ID on them, because sometimes people go by aliases, this person is Big Doggy, this person is, Top Shutter, this person is X, Y, and Z, this person is Tita Driver. No, your name is Joseph. No, your name is Alexander. No, your name is Roger. No, your name is Michaela, right? You're not Top Shutter, your name is Michaela, yeah? So ID helps with something like that. I always have to put it into like a real and practical sense, because I want us to understand that the government, as much as we like to criticize the government isn't doing things in vain. No government, and not just this one, but no government is doing things necessarily in vain. Some things are actually meant to help us, which is something like this. I think it's an easy implementation. A law stating, hey, always have your ID on you. One, and two, well, we were just speaking about it with the legal drinking age limits. You can put the law into place, but how are you going to enforce it? Is it that people are the police is gonna come and do random spot checks at, workplaces, at government offices, road stops, whether you're just walking on the streets, like how are they going to enforce something like this? It's almost like asking to see if you have socks on when you're wearing sneakers. Like, it's something where you kind of have to come up to the person and ask them a question. If you're wearing undergarments, you have to come up to the person and ask them a question. How regularly is this going to be enforced? And will this cost extra to taxpayers? How will they find the money to do this? Is it that they have to hire more TTPS officers to be on this particular task force, ID task force? I'm not too sure how it's going to work, but I'm sure we can have a sit down with DCP Commissioner Benjamin, Junior Benjamin, on this to figure out why he sees it as necessary and why it's and how would something like this be enforced. That's something that we always have to consider, because yeah, again, it's very easy to put out a law and say, hey, we want this done as a government because it's going to make this easier, it's going to make us safer, but enforcement, that's a big one. The Ministry of Health, moving on, the Ministry of Health also is telling the public to protect themselves, protect ourselves from mosquitoes, mosquito bites as the rainy season progresses. The ministry, in a media release on July 13th, noted the Aedes aegypti mosquito transmits mosquito-borne diseases such as dengue, chikungunya, and Zika. The ministry said it's closely monitoring any trends or changes in general population health, with specific attention to expected seasonal variations. All of those fancy words to say, make sure you know that you get yourself, what's the word I'm looking for? The cream that keeps the mosquitoes away. Make sure you're well covered up as the rainy season progresses. Mosquitoes are out there. Just know that. Take care of yourself. Take care of your children, and let health officials know if anything seems out of the ordinary with you and with your family. There's been no increase in persons presenting with dengue fever to accident and emergency departments across the country, but enhanced surveillance activity by the Insect Vector Control (IVCD) Vector Control Division, the Epidemiology Unit, and numerous satellite surveillance units within the community are ongoing. So they're saying they're doing something about it. They're there if anything is going to be happening. Another thing to note is the symptoms of mosquito-borne diseases. Diseases include fever, headaches, pain behind the eyes, which hurts really bad. It hurts way more than you think it's going to hurt. Muscle and joint pains, skin rash, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. The ministry has said anyone showing signs or symptoms of dengue fever should seek immediate medical treatment at their doctor or the nearest health facility. Again, those symptoms are fever, headaches, pain behind the eyes, muscle and joint pains, skin rash, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. And anyone showing any of those signs, please head to the nearest health official or health office to receive any sort of immediate medical treatment. It's very important that you follow that rule, because if something happens to you, it's probably something that's around your family, around your neighborhood, maybe around your workplace. If it happens to you, it's very likely that it will happen to somebody else. So if you're able to get tested or checked out as soon as possible, then they can send resources to your place of work or your house of residence, something like that, so that it doesn't happen to many other people. Continuing on our updates or stories for the day, WASA, Water and Sewage Authority, promises 24/5 water supply for some central customers. That's the first time I think I've ever seen that. Not 24/7. I was about to read 24/7, but then I saw that they had the 5 there instead. So Saturdays and Sundays, salt for you, salt for you. So WASA promises 24/5 water supply for some central customers across Trinidad. So 24 hours over 5 days per week, water supply as upgrades continue at the Freeport water treatment plants. WASA gave the update in a statement issued on July 12th. The upgrades include the drilling of a well named the Freeport 23, capable of producing 500,000 gallons of water per day. The water will be pumped to the plant for treatment, increasing output to 3.5 million gallons per day. The plant was also being upgraded with the installation of new pumps, valves, and an updated chlorine system. the acting WASA CEO, Jivan Joseph, along with Chairman Roshan Babwa, and the stakeholders toured the plant and sought to assure residents in the Central Park and Cali Bay areas that they would benefit from the upgrades. So this is something that our friends on the south or the central side can look forward to. I know that there were some complaints beforehand that they weren't receiving regularized water to the area. So if this is something that WASA has seen and WASA is planning to address, I think that that is good on them for doing that. So of course, there's always news. News is every single day, some update is happening. But of course, stay tuned to WESN, where our newscasters will be updating you on everything that's going on as much as we can in the world and in the region, and of course, locally here as well. So we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with you with our conversation with the TTME. So stay tuned.
Get ready for the biggest business-to-business event of the year, the Trade and Investment Convention, happening on July 17th to 19th at the Centre of Excellence in the Koya. Doors open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on business days and 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Consumer Day. Dress code in effect for business days. Park and ride available from Constantine Park and UETGR North Car Park all days, and NAMDevco on the 17th and 19th. Sponsored by the Ministry of Trade, Investment and Tourism, Exim Bank, Bal Roop Group and Bmobile Business.
Bill and Ruth fell in love with the Benjamin Moore color Dry Sage, but they tried to match it using another brand's paint.
I mean, it's close enough.
Almost identical, really. Yeah, there it is.
Never trust another paint to be a Benjamin Moore color.
Good morning and welcome back. As if the Easter eggs I was dropping throughout the whole newscast wasn't enough, today we're talking trade, investment, and opportunity on a grand scale. The Trade and Investment Convention, better known as TIC, is the largest business-to-business event of its kind in the Caribbean, bringing together manufacturers, buyers, entrepreneurs, and innovators from across the region and beyond. So it's more than just an expo. I myself am very excited to go. It's more than just an expo. It's a serious platform for growth, networking, and unlocking new markets. Joining me now is Ms. Brittany Ramdeen, a marketing officer and TIC coordinator at the Trinidad and Tobago Manufacturers Association, the powerhouse behind TIC. So we're going to dive into what makes this event so impactful, what's new this year, if anything, and why it matters not just for the big businesses, but also for the small and medium enterprises. So Ms. Ramdeen, welcome to AM Prime. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm happy. It's a Monday morning, not to forget, a Monday morning to remember. So I know we had some technical difficulties before then. I do apologize, and just jump straight into it, right? So in a 30-second nutshell, can you tell me, what is TIC even about?
So we're celebrating our 26th year this year.
Okay.
It's a good platform for companies to come and see what we have to offer in Trinidad and Tobago. We have local companies, regional, international. There's going to be over 300 booths, 330 to be exact, and over 300 exhibitors there that are showcasing their products, their services, what we have to offer.
Mm-hmm. So can you tell me, this is a veteran event, as you would have just said there's 26 years you guys have been doing this? How long have you been personally involved in this process?
I have been involved for over 10 years.
Wow. Wow. And you say you don't even look it, but what can you tell me over those 10 years, what it took to even get to this place from where you guys were to where you are now?
It took a lot of marketing, but it helps that the companies, they see the value in being in TIC. They get business generated. It helps with bringing products into the country. It's a great opportunity for even businesses that are now starting off, because it's a good platform for you to showcase what your company is about or what it's going to be about.
Yeah. So the partnerships and participation by other countries, including a giant trade country like the US. What's the thought process behind including a country like that?
It's a good thing because it helps promote our businesses to the companies that come. They exhibit as well as attend as buyers. So we help set up meetings. They can see what's available. They can make decisions on if they want to be a part of the companies here, if they want to invest, if they want to export, import. Like that.
So it's almost like they're getting a window into what our local business culture is like. Yeah, because I know that a couple of years back we were quite disenchanted with the state of business in Trinidad and Tobago, and people were saying that this is not what's the word I'm looking for, attractive to foreign investors, foreign business owners. Do you think that TIC is a platform in which you're going to change that?
I think it is, yes. It's a great way for them to see what we have to offer, and our products are just as good outside of our country as well.
Indeed. So some small business owners who may feel maybe a little bit intimidated to come out and to network, how would you encourage them?
Well, we do have a consultant here at TTME that helps the smaller companies, gets them export ready. And we do have a SME pavilion that's at TIC, where you could come and see all these small companies who are now coming up as well. And you can talk to them, you can get advice from the consultant, and he can steer you onto the right path and where you can take your business and grow it.
What if people just don't see themselves doing something like this? They consider this to be a little bit too grand. Maybe they just sell fruits and vegetables in their community, but they make quite a buck doing that. But they may see their business as too small of an operation to go to something like this. How would you personally say to them, hey, no, you're welcome?
Well, it's free to attend once you register on our website, www.ttma.com/TIC. And you could come and take a look. You can see what it's about. You can learn more about the show itself and what TTMA does, and you can see how it will benefit you.
What sort of businesses, as you would have brought a benefit there, what sort of businesses do you usually see? Because you mentioned also export, but what about, say, service providers? How do they benefit?
We have a lot of service providers who we also take with us on our trade missions, because a lot of them can export their services as well, like HR services, such as with Caribbean Corporate Governance. They went on a trade mission with us this year, and they were able to become members of different chambers in the islands, and they can offer their services there.
That is quite beautiful. So how long in advance do you need to register, say, a business before you can get a booth, so that you can get a booth?
We will be doing early registrations from the beginning of the show on Thursday, and that's when you can start for next year, because we start planning as soon as we finish.
Wow. I mean, and that's why it's been so successful for over 20 years, right? Because the planning goes into it is extraordinary. And I mean, as you're there for about 10 years now. So an event like this puts the TTMA in such a good and unique spotlight. I think everyone who knows TIC would attribute it to TTMA. So what has this done for the organization over the years, if you can speak to that?
It has helped us grow our membership. We have over 700 members. It's not just for manufacturers. We do have service-based companies. We have all of the banks are our members. It's a good community to help each other. So it's not just manufacturing. We have the banks that help when you need to reach out to them. We help in terms of giving advice. We have networking cocktails where our members can come and they can network with each other.
That's really interesting, because you would have answered my next question there. How else does the TTMA, what else does the TTMA offer during moments when the TIC conference isn't front and central to what they're doing? And you said networking cocktails?
Yes, we have events where companies attend, they can network, they can meet. We also set up B2B meetings, they can meet with persons. We have our pop-up shop that we started doing 2 years ago, which is targeted at the smaller companies, the MSMEs, and we have 2 of those a year. We have the next one coming up, Christmas. You can look out for that to register, to attend, and even to have a booth.
That's extensive. How long do you think does it take to plan something? Because you said you would have started immediately for the next year, but does it take an entire year to plan something of this size?
It does, because we start with getting artwork ready. The bulk of the planning will take place closer to probably from around December, but we plan in terms of getting floor plan ready, any early birds that we need to follow up with, getting artwork out there, new team, new artwork.
So I also know that you have almost lectures, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that's happening on some of the days. I know that I'm not familiar with his name, but I know he's a well-known speaker, renowned speaker that's coming down to speak at the TIC convention. Can you let me know a little bit more about that?
Yes, I think you're referring to the Edge series with
Yes, the
Juicy.
Edge series. Yes.
Yes, that's taking place at Napa, and it falls under our business education series, which is a series where we host webinars, which begin from today and tomorrow, and then we have seminars taking place Thursday and Friday at the Center of Excellence, and we also have the one at Napa that we're partnering.
Are those separate costs, separate events, essentially, from the TIC convention?
No. So it's all fallen under the TIC Business Education Framework, and most of them are free to attend. You just have to register on the same TIC website. So you can register to attend any of the webinars today and tomorrow, and seminars on Thursday and Friday.
All right. So I know that registration is free, but if we would just want to get into costing a little bit, there's a cost attached to some of the events. So what does that look like? What's the price breakdown?
So if you don't register to attend by Wednesday at noon, it's $50 to enter at the door.
And what about when you go, so say you're just there, you're a consumer, maybe you just wanted to see what's going on, you don't want to set up a booth. Would you be able to purchase things at the event? Is it that booths are selling things?
You can purchase from booths who are selling, and our consumer day is on Saturday, so that will be the bulk of sales happening.
And any of the other days, you regular patrons would not be able to come?
No, the Thursday and the Friday are strictly buyer days, so no kids are allowed, and you have to be dressed in proper attire.
Okay, so that is really B2B there. Businesses not working with other businesses. And Saturdays, the Saturday is for the consumers. All right.
Public, yeah.
All right, so how much, say you wanted to get a booth, does the price range different? This is the price ranges differently?
From the smallest, it ranges from $950 US up to $2,200 US.
All right, that is it depending on size or the amount of people that come? Yeah. All right.
On the size.
So size of the booth, the people that's coming, or?
It's the size of the booth.
Okay. So if you're a really small company, but you want to bring your entire company, it's going to cost more than...
It depends on the size you want, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Is there like any sort of, well, I guess, if say you're a business owner, but you also want to come as a consumer on this Saturday, what about like some sort of event pass? Like how does it work?
Yes, so if you register, what you do is you give your name at our registration desk when you get there, and they'll give you a pass to enter.
Would you guys be doing sort of door prizes or anything like that?
Of course, we'll have a lot of giveaways, door prizes. A lot of the companies also do giveaways, so you can come and check it out.
So what do you personally hope for this year? What is the impacts that you're hoping TTMA is able to make on our local economy?
I am hoping that we are able to let everyone in Trinidad and Tobago know about TIC and how it benefits the country and how it benefits them.
And personally, to you, why are you a part of something like this? What is your why?
I really enjoy working with everyone, all of our exhibitors. I enjoy the planning process. I enjoy meeting new people.
That's really interesting because I think you're a marketing officer, so naturally I think you have that people-centered approach to things.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I don't think you go into marketing if you can't handle being around people.
Yeah.
And you've been doing this for such a long time as well. And it shows. It shows, your experience shows, and I know that TIC is something that we're all excited for. Some members of us at WESN will be there. We will be there, I think, on the Thursday and Friday as well. So we are inviting our viewers to come on and come meet with us and come meet with the other businesses that will be in attendance. Yeah?
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Ms. Ramdeen, for joining me today on WESN. I hope that you have a wonderful and a beautiful day, and I will hopefully see you sometime this week.
Thank you. Yes.
No problem. All right, so that brings us to the end of this interview. Ms. Ramdeen, again, thanks so much for joining us. We're going to take a short break, and we will be right back with you. Stay tuned.
Get ready for the biggest business-to-business event of the year, the Trade and Investment Convention, happening on July 17th to 19th at the Centre of Excellence in the Koya. Doors open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on business days and 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Consumer Day. Dress code in effect for business days. Park and ride available from Constantine Park and UETGR North Car Park all days, and NAM Devco on the 17th and 19th. Sponsored by the Ministry of Trade, Investment and Tourism, Exim Bank, Bal Roop Group and Bmobile Business.
Bill and Ruth fell in love with the Benjamin Moore color Dry Sage, but they tried to match it using another brand's paint.
I mean, it's close enough.
Almost identical, really. Yeah, there it is.
Never trust another paint to be a Benjamin Moore color.
All right, so Monday morning on AM Prime on WESN, we would have just had an interview with the marketing officer and TIC coordinator from the TTME, Miss Brittany Ramdeen, telling us all about what the TIC convention has to offer. Again, we'll put this flyer up on the screen. WESN will be there as well. We are in booth 229. You will get to meet some of us who are regularly on the show and even the producers behind the show. So stay tuned for that. Come out and meet with us. The TIC convention is from July 17th to the 19th at the Center of Excellence from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Again, we are booth 229, and we also have special advertising rates available at this event. So if you're ever wondering what is it going to take to advertise at WESN, because some people, they ask me sometimes, how much is it going to be? How does this, that, and the third? Come out and ask. It's no problem at all. Come and ask, and we have special rates available for you that entire weekend. And if it's not even at that, even if it's not at that weekend, you just want to know in general, you can always give us a call. Again, at the TIC convention, it is free to register to attend. Before Wednesday, as Ms. Ramsey was saying, it's $50. After that, to enter, it's free to attend. When you go there, you may want to purchase things from different businesses. They have, and I'm sure that the same way we have special advertising rates, they would have special rates for at the TIC convention. So make sure you mark those dates in your calendar, the 17th to the 19th of July 2025 at the Center of Excellence, Macoya, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Again, WESN, we are booth 229. I just needed to put that out there. Come and meet with us. As always, you can engage with us on WESN TV, WESN CC, on YouTube, or you can WhatsApp us at 682-9376, 682-9376, and you can let us know of any topics you'd like to discuss. If you have any ideas that you'd want to see us have an interview on, or just talk about in general, you can always let us know. You can always reach Naomi at Naomi McNish on Instagram, or myself at I am Jada McLeod on Instagram or on Facebook. So if you ever wanted to reach us, if you ever wanted to tell us something, give us any ideas, you can always reach us there. So our quote for today is, you guys know I love my Dr. Seuss. It says, "You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself any direction that you choose." Again, you have brains in your head, hopefully, and you have feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself any direction that you choose. Essentially telling you that your life is your own, the day is your day. Go ahead and make it whatever you want to make it today. I think I'm learning from Dr. Seuss. So thank you so much for joining me this morning and for paying all of your attention and for giving me your attention today. It's a beautiful Monday morning in July. I hope that you have a wonderful day, whatever you so choose to do, whether it's work, it's school, lecturing, teaching, or if it's just a day of watching TV and eating popcorn. I hope that you have a lot of fun doing that. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with you tomorrow, and don't go anywhere. We have Talking Point with Sean Michael Small coming up on the hour of 8 o'clock. So stay tuned to WSN, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
WESN.
Get ready for the biggest business-to-business event of the year. The Trade and Investment Convention happening on July 17th to 19th at the Centre of Excellence in the Koya. Doors open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on business days and 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Consumer Day. Dress code in effect for business days. Park and ride available from Constantine Park and UETGR North Car Park all days and NAM Devco on the 17th and 19th. Sponsored by the Ministry of Trade, Investment and Tourism, Exim Bank, Bal Roop Group and Bmobile Business.
Hi, I'm Claudette, radiographer at the radiology departments at the community hospital. We offer high-quality service with state-of-the-art equipment in X-ray, ultrasound, CT, and mammogram. Come, our friendly staff awaits you.
Give us a call at 235-5479.
The Community Hospital of Seventh-day Adventist,
where good private health care is affordable.
FanZone, your reliable, authentic supplier, has just gotten better. You can now visit our website www.fanzonett.com for your authentic wear and collectibles. The only place where you can use both your Visa debit and credit cards. Visit our website fanzonett.com to make your purchase today.
Take some time